Hello and welcome to another episode of Face to Face. And I must say it's a special one because today I'm speaking to a footballer, humanitarian, but I must say an all-round, very, very good guy. He always makes people happy when he's in their company. My guest today is Jonathan Mensah. Welcome back to Face to Face. Jonathan, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
It's been a while. A very, very long time, I must say.
Yeah, but we talk most of the time.
Yeah, we talk most of the time. And there are a lot of places I want to start this conversation with, but I want us to start from the beginning.
Okay.
From Obuasi, through Italy, through Spain, through France, through Russia.
You missed South Africa.
Yeah, I missed South Africa. That was the first stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do
Ghana.
Obuasi, South Africa. So Obuasi, Ghana.
Yes, Obuasi Accra, because there's no airport in Obuasi, international airport.
But it's been a long journey for you to this point.
Yes.
When you look back, how do you feel?
I'm blessed, to start from, I was actually born in Dakuma. So from there I moved to Obuasi, came back to Accra, traveled, and now I'm all over the place. I'm just blessed, because most of the guys that I started playing with, schooling with, they're still in Ghana, they're traveling up and down, but mine is just unbelievable.
Did you envisage you would get this big as a young man, that you would become this kind of well-known footballer?
I didn't, I just wanted to have fun, and in the process of having fun, God also was doing his thing, so I'm just grateful.
When did you realize you were a good footballer?
Ooh.
Did somebody tell you, or you just realized one day, hey, I'm really good at this?
I don't know. I think as a kid you always believe that you were good, and growing up you hear a lot of people say it, and even good coaches say it, because when you're young, hey, Mr. Me idea and all that, we say that, but when you get to a professional level and you get good coaches telling you you're good, that serves as a motivation for you to keep going.
And how did you get into the Asgold Academy? At the time that you went to Asgold, they had a really good academy.
They were actually dissolving the academy. So when I went there, Coach Duncan took me straight into the senior team, because I think I was 16, so he was going to add me to the under-17 squad, but they dissolved it, and he signed me for my first professional contract.
That's a special bond, you and...
Oh yes,
Duncan.
because a kid from nowhere, he took me under his wings.
What did he see?
He saw something no one else saw, so I'm grateful for that man. He's such an incredible man, we all know, and he took me as a son, and he's...
A lot of people want to know, how do you get along with David Duncan? Because for those of us who know him, he's not the easiest of people. He's a brilliant man.
I believe he deals with people the way they come at him. Me being his son, I always go to him as a father. Someone like you going to him, you go to him as a journalist. So, he's going to deal with you the same way. His, kids, friends, colleagues in the coaching department, I think he's going to go to them as coaches. So he just have this no-nonsense attitude, and some people like it, some people don't. That's how human nature is.
You left very young, and for a lot of kids who leave here, they have the advantage of perhaps going into a feeder system somewhere they have to learn. You were thrown into South Africa, and it wasn't a learning situation. You were there to work, basically, and learn on the job. How did you adjust?
I had to adjust to a lot of things, because I was used to one weather, and when I went to South Africa it was different, and the time that I went there was actually winter for them, so it was something different. Coach Duncan looked at my face one training and he was like, "Are you okay?" Because when I was blowing my nose and I was bleeding, and so it was a different setup for me, but I had to keep focused and stick to what I went there to do.
A lot of us look at the South African League and say, It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. But you are perhaps like one of the few Ghanaian footballers who have been there and done well. A lot of Ghanaian footballers don't do well in South Africa.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't actually have a particular reason for why most of the Ghanaians don't make it there. But I went there, you know, on a mission as a young kid, wanting to have fun, like I said earlier on, because in the process of working, you still, you know, need to have fun, and that's what I did. We had Duncan to always be there for us, but you know, at some point he left, so we had no one to look up to us as a father, as a mentor. So we just need to be on a surviving mode, and that's what we did.
And you made it work so well that you ended up in Europe.
I did. Like I said, it's one of the toughest leagues in Africa, but you know, South Africa, but it's really tough. And like you said, why is it that some of the guys don't make it there? Because it's tough. It's tough.
Udinese signed you, but you never played for them.
Yes, that's right. It happens, you know. I signed and moved on.
You must have been excited, the club of Sulu.
Oh yeah, because it's like, wow, you know. So it was like a club whereby lots of good Ghanaian players have passed, and I was, you know, the next. And I also took that path.
But it was in Spain rather that you
That's right.
You got a taste rather than Italy.
Italy, because I was still young, and they already had their international spots occupied already, so I had to move on to Spain to play 1 year loan there. Then I did another half season there before I moved to France.
Looking back now,
yeah,
do you think you would have done really well in the Serie A?
I believe I would, because that is one league that I've been wanting to play, because you know, the way they play, physical, tactically, and it's interesting, you know. So I wanted to have a taste, but I didn't get to play there. I just need to move on with my life.
And then you did France, where you did Evian?
Yes.
You had fun in Evian?
I did, but it was challenging, you know. Obviously, everywhere is challenging, but it was...
What were the difficulties at Evian?
So when I went, I was still, fresh from the World Cup, from Spain. I need to adjust to different things again, languages, people, culture, food. As a young kid, it's always tough, you know, and I remember coming from Spain to France, the coach told me if I'm not speaking the language, I'm not playing. Like, coach, what if I'm playing good? He said, I know, but you still needs to be able to communicate with the boys. So I had to learn the language, and then going to France now, I had no choice than to learn before the coach even tells me that. So it was really challenging for me. And
it's an interesting period of your life, because you mentioned you had been to the World Cup. That was the 20 World Cup.
Yes. No.
Or the Senior World Cup.
Senior World Cup, yeah, okay. 2010.
Let's separate two things here.
Yeah.
You had gone to the Under-20 World Cup. Everybody knows what happened there. You had made your name and all that.
Yeah.
But how was it?
I already had my name.
Oh, come on. You made your name more.
Oh, okay. More.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you feel you were a big name when you went to the
No,
World Cup?
I wasn't a big name. Like, you made your name. Like, I would prefer I announced my presence.
You think so?
Yeah.
You showed the world what you were capable of doing.
Definitely.
On the biggest stage.
Definitely. I was in the top 10 after the tournament. Top young players, top 10. So, like I said, I announced myself.
And you had the opportunity to announce yourself on an even bigger stage when you were invited to join the national
Senior team, yes,
for the World Cup.
right.
How was that call for you?
Oof, it was incredible. We were actually like 10, 12 guys from the Under-20 team, so it was fun. You know, it wasn't like I was alone. I was looking at left and right, but you know, I saw these guys that I was playing with in the Under-20 team for the past 2 years, so it was fun, you know, having them around. And for me personally, I thought I was just Metali Hubi. You know, I was part of this thing, you know, having fun. You know, that's my thing, because I always love to have fun, even though we're still working. And it turned to something else.
Yeah, I remember because my first interview with you was the day before you played.
Yes, I remember that.
We did that in a hotel, in a
I
garden
remember that.
somewhere.
Yes.
In Pretoria.
Yes,
somewhere.
I remember that.
And you were nervous.
Oh, I was, because like I said, if my guys from the under-20 team wasn't part of, the guys that graduated, into the team, I was going to be even more nervous. But I had them around me, so I was good. But then when they leave and we are, on and on about with our daily life, I was like, oh my gosh, like this senior national team Black Stars. Because I remember 2006, I was Shane Jama, when we won our first World Cup game. So it was fun.
Just 4 years later, you're on the pitch.
4 years later, I'm playing. So it was like, no, this is like going way faster than I thought, which is grace. The grace of God kind of takes you to places that, you never even imagined. So me being there, I was like, always. When it gets to training, okay, fun time now. When we're done, I'm like, oh my gosh. So when you were interviewing me, I was like, oh my gosh, like seriously, this is really happening. So it was fun.
And I remember that interview because for those of you who are watching us, it took 1 hour to get him out of his hotel to come for that interview. It was him and John Pencil. I remember that interview as well. And I was nervous as well because it was also my first interview on live TV at the time. So both of us were nervous. Don't worry, it wasn't just you.
But, especially when someone is asking you questions, that is, yeah.
But that World Cup was something else. How much of an imprint has that World Cup 2010? You've played others, but 2010, what did it mean to you personally?
It was a symbol of Africa going to the world, because an African team hosted it, and I was honored, to be part of the team, and even to start a game. So I was like, wow, and that is one iconic World Cup a lot of people remember, and that is the World Cup Ghana went far. So. Definitely people will remember that, and that is one profound moment for me in my career as well.
There's something I've always wanted to ask you. I have spoken to a lot of footballers, I observe footballers, a lot, athletes. You are very well balanced in your life. How do you manage that? Because footballers live on the edges of things. But
that's what you think?
You see, they do.
Okay.
But you seem to have found a very reasonable balance between your profession and just your life. How do you manage that? I'm sure a lot of footballers would love to learn how you manage it.
Okay, so I believe it's two different things. Your life and being a professional footballer is different, things. So if I believe if you can manage your life properly, you can manage your professional life properly as well. So definitely I make mistakes, don't get me wrong, but the more you can do the right things in your life, I think it will help you in whatever you are doing, not just playing football. I think if you're a banker, whatever it is, if you are living a great life outside what you do, I think it will transform into the profession you're doing.
And you seem to have translated that into everywhere you've been, in the sense that not everywhere has been good to you, but you've gone through it and moved on. You went to Anji Machkaskala.
Yeah, that's right.
And from there, that's where you moved to the US after.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Let's talk about that experience in Russia. If France was difficult, then in language, then Russia.
I think yes.
Dagestan.
You don't have to shy away from challenges. It makes you grow. It makes you learn. And I am that type that always want to learn new things and take up new challenges. Like I said, the call up that I had to join the 2010 squad, it was such a big challenge for me. The first person I called was my mom. Mom, hey, they called me and they were like, oh, you're gonna do well, mommy, with his words, and I took it personal, because being part of the team is one thing, and being able to break into the starting 11 is also a different thing. So I love challenges, and that has kept me going. Talk of the Russia experience. It was such an incredible place.
You enjoyed your time there?
I did. Like I said, it taught me different things, and it has helped me along the way.
What influenced your decision to say, let me just move to the US? Considering, Ghanaians, we are football snobs. When we think you're a big player, we think you have to stay in Europe.
Okay.
So for us, Ghana's best centre-back at that time decides that, okay, I'm not playing in mainstream Europe. I'm going to the MLS. Of course, there were criticisms, but what influenced that decision for you?
I heard a lot of things. People were criticizing me for making a move that I think at that time was good for me, my family, and people around me. Obviously, you won't get everyone to love you, and that's fine. You have to be okay with that. My family was okay with the move that I was making because I have played more games than I did during my 5-year period in France. So I would say it's been great for me. Someone will say, oh, I don't know, why is he playing there whilst he can still play in Europe? So if you are not in someone's shoes, you will know how, what that size is. So I loved that move, and I believe whoever that's watching the league, they see what I'm doing in the league.
But maybe you can also offer a bit of perspective for the Ghanaian football fan. What does a footballer consider before making some of these things? You've already spoken about the fact you have to think about your family, you have to think about yourself. A lot of Ghanaian football fans seem to think that, well, if you're good and you are in form, Europe is the place. It doesn't matter whether you are playing or not. Just sit on the bench, your time will come. Yeah. What perspective can you offer?
Like I said, before you make decisions, you have to like I said before, life and then football life. So you have to go into life because it plays a big role in whatever you're doing. I know some banks in Ghana don't allow couples to work in the same bank. So it's like, okay, you have to think about all that. Where to go at this particular time and all that. So I need to talk to my family first and let them know why I'm, doing that, because they will support me regardless of what I'm doing if it's good. So they supported me 100% and I took that decision.
Do you consider the national team also when making such a decision that, hey,
yeah,
if
definitely.
I go here, maybe don't call me again?
No, so wherever that you are playing, because I believe lots of the players play in other leagues that is not as competitive as the MLS, but they get call-ups. Why? Because they're doing well with their teams. They're scoring goals, they're defending well, playing week in, week out. And I believe if you're doing well with your team, no matter where it is, if the coach considers to call you, you just need to come and prove why he called you. So I don't see the reason why people will argue or criticize the call-ups of the coach, because definitely people will have their opinions and whatever they want to say, but you need to prove them wrong, and that's all you can do.
Okay, that's all you can do. I will take a quick break, and when we return, I'll have a conversation with Jonathan about charity, because he seems to do a lot of work in that regard as well. There's still a football conversation, though, on Face to Face. Welcome back to Face, special edition, I must say, with Jonathan. It's always good to catch up with a good friend and have a conversation. Jonathan, you spent...
You're not my good friend.
You have renounced my good friendship license?
No.
Okay, all right. I will work back at getting...
We are just good associates, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'll put it that way.
I like the way he says it with a straight face.
Yeah.
You put in a lot of hard work into your charities. basically, how did you get into that? Where did it start from? We know footballers do this for the optics. You don't do this for the optics. That much I know.
I started this, I think, the same year that I traveled to South Africa.
That's very young.
Times, yes. So those times that I was at Ashanti Gold, you know, earning what, those times it was 1.5 million. You know, so it was a lot for me. But you know, we still had time. We bought, you know, sobolo, whatever for the kids around the area because they see, hey, Pajo, Obo, Ashanti Gold and all that. So, you know, we wanted to, as a family, because we love to give back because that's a way that we show love because, you know, you can show love in many ways. So we do that. And so we were doing it back then. But when I traveled to South Africa, I told myself it was like a covenant with God because God has taken me from nowhere to South Africa now. So it was like whenever I come back home, I will do this for the community because I came from the community and this is what I can do for the community as well.
And how do you combine the two, playing football, humanitarian activities? Because you seem to do it at the same time.
Yeah, I now have my beautiful wife, you know, that is helping me with the organization, the planning and all that. Before I used to do it with my mom. We still do it though, but wifey is more into the specifics now because there were some things that I didn't do before, but you know, she plans and you know what to do. So she's really helpful and that has really taken, you know, some of the load off me now.
The Jonathan Mensah Foundation, that's the Joe Mens Foundation.
That's right.
So what are some of the activities that you engage in, if you can be specific?
It's just, you know, helping people with school fees, you know, like preventing teenage pregnancy, donations, helping clean up. So it's just a broad thing that we're doing and you know, we look at projects that we can do at a particular time.
There was an interesting story I read and I was touched by it where a group of 12-year-olds in Columbus decided to raise money by selling cookies and stuff, and they raised $2,000 for a lot of good.
More
I
than
think a lot of money to help your foundation.
I think almost over $3,000. So
that takes conviction.
It's just incredible. They are young core of group that support the Columbus crew. So they saw what I was doing back in Ghana, and they were like, oh, this is interesting. What way can we help? And I'm like, any way you guys want to help. So they started, before every home game, they do a tailgate. They did their own bracelets, sell cookies, sell whatever they can sell to raise money for the Jonathan Mensah Foundation. So it was something that I was like, wow, you know, kids that I knew nothing of, they started, you know, raising funds for me because they've seen me do something great, and it was, you know, such a great feeling for me to know that people out there seeing the good works that I'm doing and they are eager to support. And
you do this here and also in the community that you work in the US, which
is
Columbus.
Right, yeah.
So that's why they get you were Health Humanitarian of the Year.
In 2017 when I went there.
What did that mean for you? As
that is something
who's working somewhere else.
That is something that I hold dear to my heart because I'm just a servant, you know. I'm a professional soccer player, but I'm a human being that want to serve, want to love. So so when you go to the team, they have a form that you need to fill. So based on what you write in the forms, I love to go to hospitals. I love to see all these, and then when you put the categories that you want to do, when there's a program like that, they call upon you. Like lots of the guys love to read in front of kids, love to partake in some games with the Down syndrome kids. So when you put all this, whenever there's a program like that, they call upon you and you go do it. So that particular year, I did a lot of charity work, and they honored me with that award.
When you moved to Columbus, did you envisage that you would end up being so grounded in the community? You are now as Original Colombian as you are a Dakuman boy, perhaps.
I know. Next year is going to be my 4th year, even though I'm still praying for something new, but I'm happy there. I love that place so much because they are so welcoming. They are warm, and they're genuine people. So Harrison has been there for like, what? This is he's been there for 6 years now. So that alone should tell you that that place is a beautiful place. So, you know, they loved me, and I had to reciprocate that back, and that's all I'm doing.
It's interesting you mentioned Harrison. You have a bit of a Ghanaian contingent.
Oh yeah,
in that
we used
team.
to buy.
Yeah, they've been moving
Yeah,
around.
I know.
Well, how does that happen?
Oh, it's
so many Ghanaians.
It's beautiful. You know, when we're in the locker room, hey, Harriet is saying, then the guys will be like, oh my gosh, speak English, please. It's funny. You know, it feels like home. You know, and Columbus itself is one of the big Ghanaian population in the United States. So you hear the tree all the time when you walk in a Walmart or something like that. You see them all the time. So not just in the locker room, you know, walking around some neighborhoods, you just hear the Ghanaian language fly by.
How important was Harrison to you settling down when you went to the
He
US?
actually recommended me to the coach because the coach was actually looking at me. And he went up to Harrison and was like, hey, you know, we're looking at some center backs, and there's one of the names, you know, we know he's Ghanaian. So, and then Harrison, Harry is actually a big bro, and he just said, Coach, if you're looking at someone that can fit in our system, go no far. This guy is the right guy. So, Harrison, salute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very important. And looking forward, you've also had the opportunity to replicate that perhaps for the young boys who have come into the Columbus team. You had
team.
Lalas, but he's moved on now.
Yes.
We heard a lot of big things about him. Tell us a bit
So
about him.
his story is just beautiful because he was in Legon and he got scholarship to move to Dayton, Ohio. So he was schooling, and he went through the soccer system, which is you go to school, university, you play in the school team, and then you get drafted into the MLS. So that was how come he joined our team. And he used to actually watch me, which was the 2014 World Cup. He wore the 10 and the 14. So he was like, man, I want to be like this guy. And then a couple of years later, we were playing together in the same team. So he, you know, he's such a great guy, you know, great human being. Aside being a good defender, he's a great human being.
Age-wise, you're not an old man.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're a kid.
I am.
In relative.
I'm not a kid though.
You know what I'm saying? In relative terms, football age-wise.
Yeah.
Do you get upset when people say, "Oh, Jonathan Mensah with him, he's past his prime"?
No, I don't. Like I said, everyone got their own opinion, and their opinion matters to them. It doesn't matter to me because if the opinion is about how I'm progressing, how I'm doing, then I can look at that. But if it's about, oh, with him and no, he's not this and that, I don't look at that. It serves as a motivation for me to keep going and to keep working hard. So I had a lot of messages like that before this recent African Cup, and I just went there and contributed to the team.
You've had your highs and your lows. There was a time when you were virtually undroppable in the Black Stars.
I'm still undroppable though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you think you've had lean times as well? When there are times when you look back and say, I could have done better today, or I'm not at my best?
I think any professional footballer has had their up and down times, and I won't say no. It's a yes, and like I said, it serves as a motivation for me. You know, sometimes you come back from an injury and you want to come back and play right away, but it's a process, you know, and behind the scenes stuff don't come, you know, to the light. But some people that work with us behind the scenes, you know, they see whatever that's going on there, because some people see just a weekend game. Some people also see throughout the week work that goes in before the weekend. So if you are going to put all that into consideration, you see the importance of how some people's appreciation can push you even higher.
Do you think we as Ghanaian fans, you play for one of the most high-pressure national teams anywhere in the world, where everybody claims they know football, so to say. Does that get to you?
No, but...
Pressure. Does it frustrate you?
No, I think health, there are two different types of frustration, you know, being frustrated at the level that this team is capable of getting is beyond our limits. I think that is okay. But when you're frustrated about things that are not important and relevant, then you're mistaken. But when the level of the players that we have on the team, you would expect the performance to be up. I can agree with that, but say when the coach makes his selection, because your selection, why this doesn't work. Or your opinion, but when you 11 when you so you help, support it, and then we move forward. We as players, we understand that way. That
the population don't seem to think like that.
I think we have to, because at some point you won't. But at one particular point that 11 has been selected to play, BBI aside, everything aside, and then you support the team. And then after that, you can have, you can say whatever you want to say, but now you just need to focus on, now. It's like celebrating, what you have now, you need to celebrate it. That be, no, celebrate it now, and then, being grateful will bring something even more.
The reason why I'm asking you this is because you've been in the team through some of the greatest times of the modern Black Stars,
yes,
and also some of the darkest times of the modern Black Stars. You've seen through everything, so you are in a unique position to tell us a bit more than the ordinary person.
Yeah.
Do you like playing for Ghana simply because it is Ghana, or the motivations are more? A lot of fans seem to think that there was a time when an answer would be an automatic yes. These days, there might be some hesitation if you tell your average soccer fan that I love Ghana, that's why I play for Ghana.
I think first thing is to love Ghana first. Whether you love Ghana or not, you're a Ghanaian. So when you're called upon to play, either you love it or you love something else.
The supporters don't think you love.
Okay, so like I said, what makes them think we don't love the team? Because if I don't love the team, I don't need to come waste my time, waste the nation's time, the coaches, whatever it is. So if you don't love it, don't come around it. If you love it, then you are all in. Come, help. And I believe whoever that gets the call up, comes with whole heart and coming to help the team move forward.
At what point have you ever been frustrated as a Black Stars player, and you look around the stadium and say, I don't want to do this again?
I hope and wish it never gets to that point. I never want to say, I don't want to play no more.
Have you been frustrated?
No. Frustrated is normal. I'm human. And we as players, we're human. And it's normal to be frustrated sometimes, but, not to the extent that it will lead to something that is not good. So being frustrated, yes, I have been.
Let's talk high points and low points. You mentioned 2010 as a high point. Of course, 2009, another high point, because you won the World Cup. What other high points?
3 high points during that time, though. Because 2004, actually, we won the African Cup with the under-20s. We won the World Cup. We went to African Cup 2010. We got to the finals. And then we went to World Cup 2010. So I would say within 2 years, it was incredible. Incredible.
Those were the points that people
It was
remember.
high, yeah, people remember, and I think 2012, was it a high? Because we got to the semifinals, we finished 4th. 2013.
Quarterfinals.
No, semifinals as well.
Yes, semi-finals.
Semi-finals was four. Yeah, we finished fourth. You know, because yeah, and 2015. So 2009 to whatever. Do you count the semi-finals as a high?
It depends on you are telling us.
So I would say, we as players always want more. So I would say the semi-finals, getting to the finals is a high. I would put a high on that one, getting to the finals. But I would say semi-finals is a low because, you know, when you, sometimes I park my car, talk to some fans out there, you know, just to get into their heads a little bit. And semi-finals and yeah, bre, so, you know, when you hear that and you yourself, you playing each and every game, get to the final, you won the cup too. So when you don't get it and then you remember what you spoke to the guy on the street about, then you're like, oh my gosh, I let this guy down. So that's how we feel. So when we get to the semifinals and we don't make it to the finals, it breaks our heart. So I would put a low on that one. And 15 would be a high low because we lost to Ivory Coast. They won twice. It was against Ghana. It was both on penalties, and we don't like to hear penalties. Painful. Yeah. And I don't know if I should put a high on or a low on that one. Yeah, but I'll put high-low, maybe. High-low. High-low.
But that was, the 2015 was also the AFCON where you put out that viral video where you were a bouncer.
Yeah, I remember with Asamoah Gyan.
Yeah. How did that come about? That video was funny.
We were just, I think we went for lunch. After lunch, we were just walking, and then Razak was like...
But I must say, that hotel was horrible.
Mongomo. Oh my gosh. But like I said, behind the scenes stuff, if we had to talk about all that, we will stay here till tomorrow. So after lunch, we were walking about, Razak started pushing people, and they were like, why are you doing that? You always bullying people and all that. So Asamoah Gyan was like, oh, Munchwen. If it my BBC here. And they were like, if it my, then I say, oh, Munchwen. Munjina had said the higher club, then we drop at you.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, and you're bad. So then we came behind where we went for lunch, and that was one of our rooms. So, you know, it was like a quick sketch that Asamoah Gyan drew for us. We understood it, bam. And then Achu was a superstar we were going to drop. And all the guys, Frankie Champon and Razak Brahima, Ajuma Bedu, they all came through. And then Achu, you know, because he was smallish and all that, he was like, oh, don't you remember me? Me too, I'm Christian Achu. And we're like, and so what?
Were you surprised at how that video blew up? Because that video was...
Because like I said, big. We didn't... Asamoah Gyan is so creative, and, you know, he had another creative guy, you know, behind him, which is me. So it just took off like, shoo. It was crazy.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, that gave them an insight into how you guys coexist with each other. You mentioned somebody like Asamoah Gyan.
Yeah.
You played a lot under him as captain. What
with
did he
him.
mean? With him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's such a great guy, funny guy. Like I said, what happens behind the scenes, if we are to show that to people, they might or they will appreciate us more, because like I said, you just see the weekend, but you don't see what goes through the week. And if, you know, you see some of our preparation, you see that, you know, we are doing everything we can to, like, we do a lot of things like team bonding and all that. So right after lunch, you don't just get up and go into your room on your phone. We stay there for a couple of hours, 1 or 2 hours, talk about each other, talk about what we can do to improve the team. So it's not just, you know, what people see on the field, is, you know, what actually goes on in camp.
All right, then we'll take a quick break and return for the final segment. And I'll ask Jonathan a few trivia questions. Let's see what he remembers. Face to face, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the final heading of my conversation with Jonathan Mensah. This I'm just asking him questions, just random questions. So, Jonathan, you're a defender. Which attacker do you hate to face the most?
Hey.
Who gives you the most trouble? Ever, since you started playing, which attacker do you sleep and say, this guy?
Wow. Of course, I cannot remember all of them, but those Botswana and Uganda strikers, no, Akwe Fumaba and all that. So, or we face war. But yeah, I faced, I would say Zlatan, Cristiano, and this Germano boy, Müller. Yeah, but he didn't score though. He gave an assist because they're deadly strikers, and if you want to be the best, you play against the best. So playing against them, they've been tough, but
Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
You haven't scored much, but you have scored. Which is your favorite?
One that I scored in France, actually.
For Evian?
Evian versus Reims, Baba's former team. We're playing at home, and I hit one cracker.
No, you hit a cracker?
Yeah, it was crazy, It was a free kick. We played a shot free kick, and cross came in. Defender cleared it. It didn't go far, and I hit a drop volley. Boom.
If you had the opportunity to play another position other than centre back, which one would you choose?
I'll play alongside Wakasu. In the middle.
That would be a foul-infested midfield.
No. Yeah, I'll play alongside Wakasu.
You want to play holding? You've never had the opportunity to play holding?
No, I haven't. I have discussed with some coaches, tried it at training, and they're like, but you don't want to be ball.
So you have the build for it.
Yeah.
These days they prefer tall, and you play well from the back as well. So.
Yeah, so, a coach can take that risk, but most of the time whenever we discuss, the coaches are, more of you can smell danger, so, we still want you at the back, because sometimes when you smell danger in the middle, it will be too late for you to get to the ball, so they always prefer me staying at the back.
And what do you do outside of football? There are those who say footballers don't like watching football.
Oh.
They like to sleep.
I watch every game, every game, and I am a family guy. I love to be around my family. I love to read as well, and yeah.
And do you love the gym?
Gym is...
It's work.
I don't love gym per se, but
You're a fitness
I love...
freak, Jonah.
No, health.
Okay.
Yeah, because, our health is our wealth. Because this woman, gospel artist, Christian Love, you cannot go. Akwantu ohona area, you cannot go. So if you're not healthy, you cannot do some things that you would love to do. So I am always, advocating to people to, stay on the health lane.
There's a question I always ask the footballers I interview, and it has to do with money.
Okay.
How do you manage money? You get a lot of money.
Money is say they come with sika emoja, and it comes and goes. But if you have, we as footballers needs to be financially educated, I think, twice or three times, because you are just always want to play, and as the money comes, you might need some intelligent people and genuine people that knows more than you when it comes to money, so that, they can help you in that aspect. Because, like you said, we make money, and, some of us don't necessarily have the knowledge to be able to invest well and save, So we need people, genuine people that knows more than we do in that field to help us with money.
And a lot of footballers also end up going back into football, either coaching, scouting, agents.
Yeah.
Does that interest you, or you are looking forward to a life of just relaxing?
I just want to be there to help the young kids, you know.
So you want to go into philanthropy full time when you are done?
Not necessarily, but I still want to be attached to football. Football is going to be my life forever. But the aspect of traveling is, you know, a part that I really don't like after my playing career, because we travel so much, especially in the United States. We don't travel to just one place, which is obviously home games and Cincinnati, because they just came into the league. So, but apart from that, we travel to anywhere else. So it's, just imagine the mileage on the body, you know, just traveling. So I want to be still part of that, and I'm looking to be, you know, doing my badge as a coach. So if I
you think you make a good coach?
Just let me be the coach so that you decide whether I'm good or not. But yeah, I still have a long way to go in my playing career. So after that, I will still need to go through some learning process and then pass the badge before, yeah, I would be a coach. But as for now, I'm just enjoying my playing career now.
The essence of family is very important to you. When one goes through your social media channels, you see lots of references to your parents, sometimes your mother, sometimes your sister, sometimes other members of the family.
Yeah.
How has your family kept you balanced in what you have done?
Family is everything, you know. Like you mentioned in your previous statements, there's been up and downs, you know, in the Black Stars, low and highs. They've been always there. They've been always there, because you meet a colleague in the Black Stars, he comes for 5 years and you don't see him no more. But, you know, with family, you see them every day, all day, every day. So, you know, and they've been, you know, there for me during the lows and the highs, you know, up and down. So family is everything to me, and I believe the same for you as well.
Yeah. Do they feel the burden that sometimes you feel, you know, when you're playing a game and you concede a goal, like the way Ghanaians are? Like, your mother's like, oh God, today.
My mom actually don't watch though.
She doesn't?
You know, always praying. And then she will come and peep just one. And then she'll go again, she'll be praying all the time, praying, you know. Most of the mamas do that, you know. And that's my mom, always. And I remember one time during the under 20 penalties, she was actually on her way to pray, actually. And she overheard someone say, "Pajwa say any no. Say can say no." So she was like, "Oh my God!" So she went on her knees and started to pray at that spot. You know, it was just crazy, but she started to pray, and you know, she told me the story after that. So it was just, you know, incredible to see my mom going to pray instead of watching us play and all that. So, you know, a role of a mother is just incredible. You know, that's why we need to cherish our parents so much, especially, you know, our moms, because, you know, they carried us for 9 months, and I think they know us very, very well.
Okay. It's a new generation of footballers that is coming through. When you sit back, looking, you know, where you are now, if you had an opportunity to talk to these young footballers who are coming through, some of them wearing the national jersey, what would you tell them? What's the best piece of advice Jonathan Mensah can give these boys?
There's a whole lot, but I would just, you know, chip in. If I'm to say all of it, we might, you know, write a book. They need to build their character. They need to be disciplined. They need to... I put God first. So they can do that as well if they want to go places. You know, that is my way. So I would say put God first, and then your talent alone is not enough. Keep working. You know, there's time to work hard. There's time to work smart. And, you know, like I said, build your character, be disciplined, and be teachable, you know, because some of the guys under 17, under 20, they don't want to hear, oh, I also say, hey, you know, you were supposed to do it here. But we, the young guys that went through the 2009 batch, we were teachable. We were just always listening to each other, always wanting to help each other, wanting to lift each other, and that is what, you know, kept us going, because I didn't know anything. And if someone was to, hey, say anything, I was like, okay. And then you do it, and the person will see that what he told you, you were doing it. And it has got us, you know, where we are now. So I would tell them to, like I said, God first, be disciplined, build your character, and keep working hard and smart, and, you know, you will get to wherever you want to get.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Jonathan Mensah.
No problem.
For making time
Thanks for
us.
having me.
It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
It's been an invigorating conversation.
You didn't let me say hello to my wife.
Okay, please say hello to your wife.
I would, I already did. She heard me, yeah. She will see on TV, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mrs. Kafui Mensah.
Yeah.
Have a good one. She's looking at me.
Okay.
But it's been a pleasure having Jonathan Mensah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you on the program. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. My name is Godfred Akoto Boafo. See you next time on Face to Face. Have a good day.